Hey guys, Shadowz here, welcome back to another Gears of War pop video. Today we are going to be discussing characters and abilities, release dates, and Gears 5 rewards in Gears Pop. Recently, the Coalition Studio, working in partnership with Mediatonic, released the first ever raw gameplay showcasing what the new Gears mobile game is all about. Gears Pop is a MOBA Rush-like real-time multiplayer mobile game that is currently in soft launch right now, which means there may be people out there in the public already playing, but has a release date of early 2019, available on the latest just iOS and Android devices. And yes, just like most mobile games, Gears Pop is going to be free to download and play. However, some in-game items can be purchased for real money, obviously in the form of microtransactions. Gears Pop has a very unique art and gameplay style compared to anything we've ever seen in Gears before, and while it may seem just a little bit corny or confusing at first, there's actually a lot of layers and thought process behind the gameplay of this brand new playable Gears experience. A multiplayer match in Gears Pop pits two players against each other in a 1v1 that only lasts 3 minutes, with additional overtime if needed. The objective of the game is to play out units that push forward to take down enemy outposts and the leader at the opposite end of the field, with winning decided on the overall points that a player has earned from destroying the enemy bases. Each player starts the match out with a leader character and 2 sentry outposts, as well as also a squad deck which allows for up to 8 units total, which shuffles over time as they become available in game. As the match begins, it's recommended to know that cover is very important in this, just like it is in every Gears game out there, as the 3 lanes are separated by cover lanes on each side and an open lane in the middle. As units are placed onto the battlefield, they will seek out to capture the pieces of cover first before getting into any kind of combat. With time passing, the blue bar will fill up as the match goes on, indicating just how much power the player has, which is used to spawn in the units that all have their very own set of amount power as well, which is required to be activated and then used in game. With units moving forward capturing the cover, it opens up and expands the controlled territory, which allows for a further respawn of brand new units to give the upper hand and advantage. Every character pin has a level system that uses similar progression to how the Horde skills worked in Gears 4, where collecting a certain amount of the same card, or in this case a pin, will allow for an upgrade, granting that character pin to the next level. As characters level up, their stats will increase, ranging from having a higher damage, attack speed, to damage per second, and so much more. Some of the characters have also got some passive abilities as well, creating just unlimited choices for squads and decks to use, with characters like JD Phoenix having the ability to go down but not out, and Kate Diaz, who has a bonsai-like ability, able to just completely ignore all of the enemy units in front of her and just deal direct damage to the enemy outpost. It opens up different ways to approach every single match you play. Some units that have been seen so far include the likes of heroes like Marcus, JD, and Cole, locust creatures being wretches, grinders, and boomers, as well as also some miscellaneous things like barriers, decoys, and even DBs. It does feel like Gears Pop takes everything from the Gears games and the universe overall, applying it into a Funko Pop makeover and featuring it in this game. Alongside the 8 unit decks, there is also the option for an ultimate ability like a Hammer of Dawn Strike that automatically just recharges, being available from time to time during gameplay, which can then just change up the pace of the match at any given time. New characters, pins, and abilities can all be collected in the game, which grants both the chance to acquire new characters but also leveling up already owned units with a few duplicates. Now, while we've learned quite a bit about the actual gameplay of this Gears Pop game, it is still very unclear whether or not there is any kind of progression for earning content, as well as also just how the microtransactions and the monetary purchases will work. An early teaser of the main menu is shown within one of the official Gears Pop released images, which reads left to right: store, pins, home, inbox, and missions. The store tab will most likely be like the Gears 4 store, where new units, characters, and items can be obtained by being opened up in the most coolest just way ever. The pins tab is where squads can be customized and units chosen to be played during a match. There also seems to be some sort of currency at the top of the page as well, with what looks to be maybe like a Phoenix coin and emulsion like crystals. How these currencies are earned and what they do in game hasn't really been shared yet, but it may have something to do with the missions tab on the far right, which could be maybe further progression like campaign in this game. With the gameplay, characters and abilities explained out of the way, Gears Pop is going to be a live gaming service of course, which does mean that it's going to be heavily supported over time going into the future, with already been confirmed that the game will frequently just have added of iconic characters from the Gears universe that can be swapped out to build the ultimate decked out deck. While Gears Pop is a standalone Gears experience built specifically for the mobile phone gaming genre, never say never, but it could very well include rewards for other Gears games out there like possibly Gears 5 to enhance the game in the far future. Please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me what you think. What is your opinion on what we've seen so far and know about Gears Pop? And are you going to be picking up the game, as obviously it is free once it does release next year in early 2019. So there you have it guys, full details on the characters and abilities, release dates and Gears 5 rewards, as well as so much more in Gears of War Pop. Give the video a thumbs up and share if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you for watching, and as always I shall see you in the next one.